So now this is your girls recording. Let's go ahead. Let's start up this damn reaction, shall we? Patrick CC, shout outs to you. We've mentioned about this beef before, but I don't think it is we ever really watched a video talking about with this. So the only beef Eminem could not handle. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into this next video, y'all. Let's do it.
Rather a catchy pop song that teenage girls and moms all around the world loved. Now, the diss was aimed at a rapper, Eminem, who is known to destroy anyone who dares to test him on the mic, but it was performed by Mariah Carey, an iconic pop star.
This man has even went as far as dissing his own mother. And recently just dissing Megan Thee Stallion, which crazy stray. I'll save my comments for later.
Star who has 19 #1 hit songs. You'd think Eminem beefing with a female singer would be a heavily one-sided battle. This isn't a fair fight, right? Wrong. This beef proved to be too much for Marshall Mathers to handle, and today we are going to break down exactly what happened in the only beef that Eminem ever lost. At the 43rd Annual Grammy Awards, Eminem performed his hit song Stan alongside Elton John. Mariah Carey was in the crowd watching and was wildly impressed with M's performance. Both Em and Mariah recall that she reached out to Marshall, asking if he wanted to help her on her 9th studio album, Charm Bracelet, even though he is not featured nor credited on the album. Em claims that the two dated for several months at this time, whereas Mariah says their relationship was strictly professional. In May of 2002, Eminem dropped his iconic album, The Eminem Show, and on the track Superman he rapped, "What you trying to be? My new wife? What, you Mariah? Fly through twice." Superman featured guest vocals from Dina Ray, a singer who previously collaborated with Eminem on tracks like Come On Everybody and Drugs Ballad. When discussing her time working with Marshall on Superman, Ray claimed that Mariah was originally meant to be on the song.
I did hear that.
Fun fact, Mariah was the original vocal on Superman. Whatever happened. I think he was a little upset. And he called me, he said, call Dina. So I get flown in. Her vocal was actually the reference. I recorded there in the studio on his crib. And that's how Superman came about.
But Superman wasn't the only song where Mariah was mentioned. On the track When the Music Stops, he rapped, "What the F you take me for? A joke? You smoking crack? Before I do that, I'd beg Mariah to take me back." Now these mentions were soft. They honestly don't come across as disses. They come off as Eminem just being upset that things didn't work out with her. And considering the Eminem Show sold 1.3 million copies in its first week and would go on to sell 27 million copies, making it one of the best-selling albums of all time, rumors quickly spread that Mariah Carey was the woman he was rapping about and presumably dating. Those rumors would be confirmed in a Rolling Stone interview in 2002 when Eminem was asked about them being boyfriend and girlfriend. There's truth to that, but on the whole personal level, I'm not really feeling it. I just don't like her as a person. In December of 2002, Mariah told Oprah the rumors are not true.
Okay, so what was going on between you and Eminem, if anything?
Nothing. Look, I talked to him, I have spoken to him a few times, whatever, but in terms of me having like an intimate relationship with men, I can name them all on one hand, and he ain't on the hand.
She doubled down that same month on Larry King.
How about Eminem?
What about him?
Do you date him?
No.
Where was that printed?
That was printed everywhere.
And you didn't date him at all?
I hung out with him. I spoke to him on the phone. I think I was probably with him total of 4 times. And I don't consider that dating somebody.
Then Mariah released Charm Bracelet, and fans suspected the song Clown was dedicated to Eminem when she sung, "I should have left it at how you doing. I should have left it at I like your music too. I should have never called you back when you pursued me. You should have never intimated we were lovers, when you know very well we never even touched each other." Later in the song, she responded to M's claims on Superman where he said she flew to his house. "I gotta break it to you delicately, dummy. Taking my G5 20 minutes wasn't nothing, but I guess you wouldn't know. That's the way I roll. Consequently now your ego's fully overblown. You don't want the world to know that you're just a puppet show, and the little boy inside often sits at home alone and cries. Damn. Remember, Mariah heavily downplayed her involvement with M, saying she simply spoke to him a few times. Flying a private jet to someone just to speak for 20 minutes does seem a little unrealistic, unless you are Taylor Swift, who regularly takes extremely short trips on her private jet. But when you consider that Mariah Carey achieved Taylor Swift Swift-level success by 1995, it's safe to assume that she was also taking private jets everywhere she went. Mariah continued to take shots at Eminem. While performing Clown at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois in July 2003, a female dancer came on stage dressed in a blonde wig and wearing Ben Wallace's Detroit Pistons jersey. Since Eminem is from Detroit and has also been seen wearing this exact jersey, it's clear that she was depicting him as the clown on stage. When the song ended, a giant screen flashed The Marionette Show with the same Eminem Show styled reversed lettering. Mariah grinned, telling the audience, "It's all in fun. We're just having a good time with the show up here." Eminem didn't respond and the beef died out for 2 years. But that's not even close to the end of this feud. But real quick, I want to talk about how I'm always getting annoying spam calls, and I know it's because big companies can't keep our data safe. Over 560 million users' data were put up for sale on the dark web in a recent Ticketmaster hack. The stolen data includes names, data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/PatrickCC and try your first 2 weeks for free. Thanks, Aura. But Eminem's career was at an all-time high, so it's likely he didn't respond because it didn't make sense to divert any of his success and attention to another artist. Universal Pictures released the drama film 8 Mile, a semi-autobiographical portrayal of Eminem's early life and his struggles to break into the hip-hop scene in Detroit. 8 Mile was a critical and commercial success, earning $242 million worldwide. Eminem also contributed to the soundtrack, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 200, selling over 700,000 copies in its first week. The soundtrack's success can be credited to its lead single, Lose Yourself, which became Eminem's first Billboard Hot 100 #1 single, remaining there.
Can I be honest here? Are y'all gonna judge me if it is that I say this? Like, Lose Yourself, cool. You know what I mean? It was great for the movie, and especially at the time in the early 2000s. However, Lose Yourself, I'm kind of over. It lost me. You know? And that's not me disparaging Eminem at all, because Eminem's a solid rapper. A solid rapper. You know, you feel me? But for me, I don't feel like Lose Yourself is his best one. It's a great one for like commercial, for his commercial success. I'm over it. I'm over it. It's not his best song. It's not his best song. Completely over it.
For 12 consecutive weeks. Lose Yourself won the Academy Award for Best Original Song, making it the first hip-hop song to receive the award. It also won the Grammy Award for Best Rap Song and Best Rap Solo Performance. Then in 2004, Eminem released his 5th album, Oncore. Although it received less favorable reviews from his previous albums, Encore still went #1 on the Billboard 200 and was certified quadruple platinum a month after its release. Eminem was an unstoppable force, and it seemed like he was just going to let his success slap Mariah in the face. But then in 2005, she had the biggest comeback of her career. Mariah released We Belong Together, which had the X factor that was missing from Mariah's catalog in the past few years. Critics praised the song's production, Carey's impressive vocal range, and the emotional depth of the lyrics. We Belong Together broke chart records in the US and became Mariah's 16th Billboard Hot 100 #1 single. She then released The Emancipation of Mimi, which became Carey's highest-selling album in the US since her 1995 album Daydream. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 with 404,000 copies sold. The Emancipation of Mimi garnered 8 nominations at the 48th Grammy Awards, including for Album of the Year, and she won 3 awards including Best Contemporary R&B Album. Mariah's success bothered Eminem. Even he admitted it, because after 2 years of silence, he randomly started taking shots at Mariah once again. Eminem was on the 3rd edition of the Anger Management Tour in the summer of 2005, where during one of his performances, he orchestrated 2 minutes of his set to diss Mariah. He changed the lyrics of his song Ass Like That to Mariah Carey, looks so scary, I don't want to see it. Every time I see her video on the TV, she's so annoying.
I remember this. Yep, I remember this. It came out of nowhere. Like, him just started dissing Mariah Carey. Like, Eminem just did that out of nowhere, bro. And now we're just like, gang, you hold on to a grievance like this for 2 years, and now all of a sudden you want to start dissing her? Like, dang. Like, talk about a crash out. Talk about a level it is. You have not let that go of, you know, hoping and praying it is that things would have worked out. Like, and boy, do I understand that sentiment, because sometimes it is. I've dealt with that before, of people crashing out because things didn't work out, and it's like, gang, why are you speaking on my name? Especially now, it's been years. Like, damn, I know my pussy was he, but damn, relax.
He
I'm
then
only
plays
kidding.
a snippet of her 2005 hit song We Belong Together before playing alleged private voicemails and detailing stories of their relationship.
Who is that? You love me? Yo, that sounds like Mariah Carey. That's me. Get the f*** out of here, man. Don't tell me she's behind one of these doors. Mariah, I told you to stop following me every motherfucking city we go. It's over between us. Remember you said there was never anything between us? Remember you said on VH1 or MTV or whatever it was that there was never anything between us, and you never flew Jess to my house at 5 o'clock in the morning and passed out on my motherfucking kitchen floor? What are you talking about? You know what the f*** I'm talking about. I know you got a new wife. Not a new wife. It's the same girl I've been with. I'm trying to make shit better at home. I'm trying to get my family back together. You're f***ing up right now.
I'm not gonna lie with you. This is messy. This is messy. This is extremely messy coming from, with men. I talk about this a lot of like, it's embarrassing. Yeah, it's extremely embarrassing to go ahead and you just pillow talking to this degree for what, I don't understand. And especially if you're a man that does this, I look at you a little weird. Like, you didn't just do this with your niggas. You did this in front of thousands of people, and then people recording you, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. This is televised, whatever. And then now this is going on like national TV type shit. So millions of people have seen this. Yeah, nah. Nah, I'm cool.
Oh my God, I'm sick.
Now, I'm not sure if these are private voicemails or actually snippets of the original Superman recordings, because remember, Dina Ray said that Mariah recorded a Superman demo, and that song has multiple conversational talking skits in it. This time, Mariah seemingly ignored Eminem because it wouldn't be worth it for her to give him attention during her career resurgence, but M continued to antagonize her. In 2006, Eminem took things even more personal and spoke about the pair's alleged sexual history on the track Jimmy Crack Corn.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your mind's on us, like mine's on Mariah, and y'all is just like her. You're all effing liars, but I'll just keep effing you like I effed her, right in the ass with KY. Yes, sir. Marshall also...
Maybe I shouldn't have suppressed that fart noise after that statement, but come on, gang. I remember when he dropped this, but this is like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Also appeared on the radio station Shade 45, where he claimed that he and Mariah had a relationship for a good 6-7 months. It didn't work. I wasn't really into what she was into. Our personalities collided. He added, "She's a diva, and I'm a little more regular, I guess." He completed his statement with a quote that convinced Mariah fans that he was just simply a jealous ex. I can never deny her talent, but the fact that she denied...
Yo, Dr. Jedi with the 200 biddies. I appreciate you. Thank you.
We ever had something, that's bad. For Eminem to claim that he wasn't really into her and that she's too much of a diva, while in the same breath being upset that she denied their fling, revealed his insecurities. Basically, every rapper is known for being a misogynistic, tough guy egomaniac, and for a woman who was more successful than him at that point, to deny he ever had a chance with her, even if it was a lie, crushed him, and he could not let it go.
Bro, I promise you it is that men with rejection men will crash out over rejection, unfortunately, and it puts us as women in such a terrible circumstances at the end of the day, and that worries me a lot. That scares me a lot as a woman, and that's why for a while I kind of had to chill on listening to Eminem, because for one, how he started coming up being successful. People don't like Dr. Dre because of the things of what he's been alleged of. I'm not gonna sit there and say it is like that's not true. We've all known for years how Dr. Dre gets down, and now signing somebody it is who also goes ahead and be misogynistic, and on top of that too, openly you know what I'm saying, say all these things about women and stuff like that. And you're crashing out over somebody it is that, you know, didn't work out. You know, she don't really like you like that. It is what it is. But the fact that, like, even if she said, hey, listen, it never happened, this and this, you didn't even have to say anything, gang. It's just like, all right, whatever, cool. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I know what the fuck happened. But you decided that you wanted to continue to keep moving forward with dissing this woman and just doing years, for years. It's not even like a year. It's years of you just doing a battle with her for no reason. That's insane to me.
3 years later, Eminem released the track Bagpipes from Baghdad off his 2009 album Relapse. In the song, Eminem mentioned Carey again, rapping, "Mariah, whatever happened to us? Why did we have to break up?" He also added a few lines targeted at Mariah's then husband and actor/rapper Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon better back the F up.
Funny.
I'm not playing. I want her back, you punk. I mean, I really want you bad. You Nick, you had your fun. I've come to kick you in your sack of junk. Then he later says, Nick Cannon, you prick, I wish you luck with the whore. Eminem fans believed he was just joking, whereas Mariah fans look at him as being genuinely desperate for her attention. Nick Cannon responded to Bagpipes from Baghdad in a now deleted blog post. I felt sorry for him because he must really be stuck in the past. Not only has his music not evolved, but also homeboy is still obsessed with my wife, the same female that wouldn't let him get to second base from 8 years ago. If Nick stopped there, he would have seemed like a respectable husband defending his wife, but as he kept typing, he just kept embarrassing himself. Then I asked myself, should I go find this bitch and whoop his little ass? Most people don't know I'm nice in the ring and have been training in boxing and martial arts for years. That would just be childish and silly of me to bully this dude. I thought we got past the days where white men could spew vulgar obscenities at our beautiful queens and get away with it. This act of racist bigotry cannot go unnoticed. So Miss Marshall, I'm going to make you wish you never spoke my name and regret the ungodly things you said about my wife. You will now be known as the rapper who lost to corny ass Nick Cannon. Eminem sarcastically responded to Nick's comments in an interview with Tim Westwood TV.
Nah, I mean, with the song with Bagpipes from Baghdad, there's a line on there that was a little harsh. I said it, you know, it wasn't like, I had no idea that he was going to take it like he took it.
He took it.
I had no idea that Nick Cannon was going to start wilding out on me.
Wilded out? I mean, what is his problem? Is his wife?
I don't know. I heard about some of the things he was saying.
I mean, he said some mad things right now.
I didn't read his blog or anything like that.
It's like it's his mission now, he's saying.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
That whoever the person that's in charge of the show is not shit. You're antagonizing the fact. You're like, oh, what's his problem? You know what his problem is. Now, yeah, Nick really shouldn't have played into it like with the long paragraphs and stuff like that. You don't even have to do that, gang. You could have just posted up a picture with your wife. You could hug it and kiss it and stuff like that, and you would have won easily. I think that's what messed him up the most was him speaking and then saying all these things of just like, oh yeah, like I've been training for this amount of time. Should I go whoop his ass and stuff like that? Like, you can't say stuff like that. You can't. You cannot say stuff like that. And it's bad enough that people did not take Nick Cannon serious as it is, and some people still kind of don't, to be honest with you. I think, damn, unfortunately, I feel like that may be the reason to why it is that he had to go and get all these damn kids from different women because people was not taking him as serious, you know? So that's all like, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. But yeah, that person on the mic beforehand, you knew exactly what it is that you was trying to do, trying to egg that on. Like, I don't even know what his problem is. You know what his problem is. He's trying to defend his wife.
That's how he feels, man.
But look, it is what it is. He's supposed to defend his wife. I expected him to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's a line I said, it's a song, and what I actually meant to say is I wish them the best.
I didn't get that from the records.
But that's what I meant to say.
I listened.
Still,
you didn't
Eminem's
get that.
frequent mentioning of Mariah seemed unwarranted, especially since she hadn't mentioned him publicly since 2003. One could describe his behavior as obsessive, at least that's how Mariah viewed it. And this inspired Mariah to drop one of the most ruthless, cutthroat disses of all time, in the form of a catchy pop anthem called Obsessed. While not mentioning anyone specific, the song addresses a person who is obsessed with Mariah despite her lack of interest. She sings, songs Why You So Obsessed With Me, Boy I Wanna Know, Lying That You're Sexing Me, When Everybody Knows, It's Clear That You're Upset With Me. Throughout the track, there aren't really any bold claims, damning evidence, or lyrics that are extremely harsh towards Eminem. It's just a sassy, catchy, and fun banger that absolutely dominated popular radio in 2009.
This is actually a really, like, if you're gonna respond to something, this is a great PR move. This is great. I don't have anything really bad to say about this. It was a fun, catchy song, but unfortunately, with this, it made it'll be talked about later on within the video, I'm sure. But you know, it's catchy. I like it. Great PR move.
The song debuted at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it Carey's highest debut in over a decade. Every girl in the club, soccer mom in a minivan, and don't lie, even the tough guys were singing these lyrics all summer long. To make matters worse,
the tough guys were singing "We Belong Together." The emancipation of Mimi. There's been a couple of guys that is, you know, guys will like to sit there and say this, that they listen to all that tough music shit all the time. They do not. Put on a R&B, something it is that R&B, pop, something catchy. I promise you it is. They gonna be singing it word for word, bar for bar too. We ain't the only ones that is gonna be singing up in there. They singing it too.
Worse for Em, in the music video, she portrays both herself and a bellhop who is secretly obsessed with Mariah Carey. The stalker follows Mariah around wearing a large gray hoodie and sweatpants, meant to resemble Eminem. At the stalker's home, they have posters of Mariah as well as other pieces of memorabilia everywhere. And this is particularly creative, seeing as Em is the same person who made Stan, which resembled a similar obsession with a high-profile musician. This is the highest level of trolling and pettiness I have ever seen in a music video. Obsessed is truly one of the best diss tracks of all time for its simplicity, catchiness, and replay value. Not to mention the layer of truth in the song, and as you can imagine,
and it was probably the first song it is that I could think of with me growing up, that kind of talked about the level of being parasocial. You know, even though I just discovered the wording for parasocial like earlier within this year, but that's pretty parasocial. You know, when you get to a point to where it is you got all these memorabilias and all these different things, there's one thing of support, and there is a whole nother level of line of being parasocial. And there's a lot of people, both viewers and also people within streaming community, that does not know the difference between the two. That's the part.
Eminem was angry, and he needed to respond. Less than 2 weeks after Obsessed
yeah,
dropped, on July 30th, 2009, Eminem
produced by Dr. Dre. Not a good look.
Retaliated with The Warning, a diss track produced by Dr. Dre where he provides explicit details about his alleged relationship with Carey, including intimate descriptions and references to private conversations. M's anger can be felt in this song from the very beginning as he starts the track with, "Only reason I dissed you in the first place is because you denied seeing me. Now I'm pissed off." He addressed her record. "Oh gee, is that supposed to be me in the video with the goatee? Wow, Mariah, I didn't expect you to go balls out. Shut the F up before I put all them phone calls out you made at my house when you was wildin' out before Nick. When you was on my and give you something to smile about. How many times you fly to my house, still trying to count." He continues to claim that he and Mariah dated for over 6 months and only had sex once. He tries so hard to prove this point by going into extreme detail about how he was terrible in bed and she was grossed out by him.
Listen, only hitting once and crashing out like this is actually nasty work. That's nasty work. To hit once, you was a little early. She got grossed out by it, and you crashed out like this. Damn. Man's lost his throat goat. Not even throat goat, bro. Not even throat goat.
Should have left it alone.
You should have left it alone. If you crashing out over the fact it is that you was too excited, you know what I'm saying? Crashing out over that, just hitting once, and then you crashing out like this is disgusting. Disgusting. You would have thought it is that they would have been like, you feel me? They've been like in a relationship type shit. That wasn't even the case. Oh man, I hate that.
However, Eminem established in the 8 Mile film that he's willing to make fun of himself to weaken the enemy's attack. He also creatively used Mariah's voicemail recordings in this track to almost make it seem like she helped him diss herself on his record. The Warning is a brutal diss track, and if it were targeted at any other rapper, it would have surely been enough to bury them. But it was aimed at a female pop icon, and nobody expected her to string together some bars for a response. So it kind of seemed like Eminem was just arguing with himself, and it solidified even further to Mariah fans that he looked desperate, because the premise of the entire song is basically that she won't acknowledge that they had a fling. And if you're Eminem, who can get literally any girl in the world, why are you so mad about this one?
I mean, I wouldn't acknowledge it being a fling neither. Not after what it is. Oh, let's be real. Let's be real. If it was just only one time and you had your chance and you blew it, not quoting the man's verse of you know what I'm saying? Of lose yourself, but come on. You had your chance, you blew it. Too excited. She said, yeah, nah, cool. I wouldn't count it neither, to be honest with you. I would have been like, hey, listen, imagine having to count that as a body and to say that. Yeah, hell no.
Mariah never responded to The Warning, and in 2010, Eminem told Vibe magazine, I really don't want to talk about her anymore. He explained, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. I'm not even going to comment about it. I'm done with that whole situation. I said what I had to say. I'm done. It's just crazy that Eminem started a decade-long feud with someone, mentioning them in multiple songs just because he wanted the world to know they had sex one time. He tried everything he could to provoke Mariah, but every time she addressed it, his reactions just proved her point that he was kind of obsessed with her. And this would have been an embarrassingly abysmal defeat for Eminem if Nick Cannon just shut his mouth. Because every time Nick Cannon spoke, it just made Eminem look better. Nick brought up Eminem multiple times over the years. While speaking with Hip Hop DX, he said, the way the Eminem thing started was that I never had an issue with him. If anything, I've been one of his biggest fans. But when another man crosses a line of disrespect, then you gotta deal with it. I can't just sit there and allow someone to disrespect my family and think there aren't going to be any repercussions. But there weren't any repercussions. So he did let someone disrespect his family. But he does claim that he went looking for Eminem to fight him.
I was ready for whatever, so I went looking for him. Ooh. I called managers, so I was like, look, if you want to get on the phone, if I need to come to Detroit, like what is it? Like, cause you done disrespected my wife, and this is I gotta show my wife I'm a man. But one, it got, he said my name. I'm like, look, I know I ain't gonna be. I said that I know I'm not gonna be able to out rap you, but I will whoop your ass. And those were the exact words. Ooh.
I mean, I don't condone violence, but for him, as a man who has a girlfriend or a wife, I understand that level of like you go into this mode of trying to protect them, because it's like, all right, now you talking crazy to me, you talking crazy to my woman that's in my life. Now I gotta let it be known that I'm not tolerating that, and I do not condone no violence. I'm letting that be known, YouTube, because you're trying to get me for that, and damn well this is not the case. I don't condone that, but I understand it. I get his sentiment. I really do.
Ooh. A few months after that interview, Fat Joe released Lord Above featuring Eminem. During his verse, he raps, I know me and Mariah didn't end on a high note, but that other dude's whipped. That kitty got him neutered. Tried to tell him this chick's a nut job before he got his jewels clipped. Almost got my caboose kicked. Full quit. You're not gonna do shit. I let her chop my balls off too before I lose to you, Nick. Nick entirely misinterpreted the lyrics because he said in an interview that Eminem admitted that he almost got his ass kicked.
With some other stuff about Mariah.
He said he admitted that he was gonna get his ass, I was gonna whoop his ass. He admitted that. Almost got my ass kicked. Almost.
Oh, so he was talking about you kicking.
Who else was gonna kick his ass?
No, he didn't. Eminem very clearly said, almost got my caboose kicked, full quit, you not gonna do shit. After the song's release, Nick responded on Instagram writing, Fat Joe album is fire, star-studded. He even did some charity work and dug Eminem out his grave. I mean cave, LOL. Bring your ass to MTV Wild 'N Out to battle like a real legend, Grandpa Marshall. Kanan responded days later with a diss track titled The Invitation, where he once again wanted Eminem to appear on Wild 'N Out. Now, everyone knew Eminem was never going to go on that show. So the next day, Nick dropped another diss track called Pray For Him. After 2 songs with no response, he dropped a third diss titled Invitation Canceled.
Bro. It's like, why? Why, dude? I remember it too, but it's like, why?
Where he brought up some old racist raps that Eminem made when he was a teenager. All of these diss tracks were horrible. They're not even worth talking about, and literally nobody thought Nick Cannon actually had some good shit to say. And regarding Nick Cannon's raps, 50 Cent said it best.
The only thing that makes him look corny is his rapping.
Yeah, I don't know why he's so passionate about it. Like what the hell's going on? Bro, look, you suck, bro. You suck, bro. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. Like, there's never a moment where you said something and we was like, ooh, bars.
Eminem did respond with a tweet. I demand an apology, Nicholas. You've made my gardener so jealous. Somehow Mariah Carey's ex-husband managed to be so cringe, annoying, and pathetic that it made Eminem fans rationalize him as the winner of the feud. But in reality, Eminem and Mariah had a fling, then she brushed him off like just another random dude she was moderately interested in, and his ego was crushed for a decade.
He ain't the only one. You seen how Drake acted. You seen how Drake acted once it is like Rihanna didn't take him. Yeah, you've seen how it is that happened. Man, talk about a level of a crash out. All right, listen, Patrick CC, shout outs to you, gang. Thank you so much for the video. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. And shout outs to you at home. I will catch y'all in the next video.